always the first question that somebody gets is, hey, that's super cool. How much is it? So, I almost fell down. He gives me the thumbs up. This was my final turn.
Ooh.
I had figured I had accomplished it at this point. Oh. And then I fell down.
Ouch. So you fell down in the end.
Yeah, I had gone for a long time. I figured I was good enough. If you lose your concentration for a second, it's pretty easy to go down. But by that point, I was so happy because I had made a few loops and a few turns, and I was calling it success at that point. I was like, yes, I did it.
And how you feel doing this sport? You like it?
I liked it, but we should talk about what is the cost of this.
Okay.
Always the first question that somebody gets is, hey, that's super cool. How much is it? So it's one of those costs that it's very easy when somebody says it to you to fall off your chair. It's a carbon fiber board. It's some advanced, motor and electronics to make it all work in a very harsh environment. So it's not inexpensive.
And it's a pretty new technology as well, right?
It's very new technology, not a lot of competition, not a lot of used equipment. So all of those things combined make it a very, very expensive board. So whatever you think it is, probably double that amount in your head.
How much?
So if I add up all of the things that I paid to do this, so the board, you're looking anywhere from $10,000 to maybe $18,000, depending on the vintage. The one that I chose was JETSURF, which is the #1 brand. So it's a premium brand, a leader, really good technology. When I was thinking about it, this is a harsh environment. If you pick something that's inexpensive and cheap, it's not going to work because water will get into the engine. You need a lot of technology to actually keep these things running. And I put this thing through its paces in this environment. So you can imagine the quality of this product. If it can survive that, doing it in a nice lake in the summer, it's definitely a lot easier. So you got the board for $10,000 to $15,000.
Yeah.
You fall off your chair. You need a life jacket. Maybe $25, maybe $50 if you get an expensive one. And the two pieces of safety equipment that you need are a whistle, $2, maybe.
Maybe less.
And a watertight flashlight.
Maybe less than $2 as well.
Gas, very inexpensive because they've got a fairly small tank and you can go for about an hour. Relatively inexpensive compared to other motorized water sport vehicles.
Like what?
So I'm talking about personal watercraft like Sea-Doos or boats, for instance. Yeah. So this is where, when you talk about costs, if you just talk about it, okay, do I want a stand-up paddleboard or do I want a motorized surfboard? They're very different.
Yeah.
You can get a stand-up paddleboard for between $600 and even like the coolest ones, the most expensive, are about $2,000. But if you compare it to a Sea-Doo, which would probably be in the range of $6,000 to about $18,000, or a boat, it could easily be $50,000 or $100,000 for high-end ski boat. But it's not really comparable to a boat. So let's look at it in comparison to a personal watercraft like a Sea-Doo. So this board, because it's made of carbon fiber, 45 pounds. You were able to pick this up no problem.
Yeah, it was a little bit heavy. You will see this in this video right here, but I couldn't do it.
This thing actually comes with a backpack. You can put it in this big backpack, put it on your back, with straps, and, pretty much take it anywhere. Try to lift our Sea-Doo.
No, it's impossible.
The Sea-Doo weighs almost 1,000 pounds. So you're not moving that thing around by yourself. You need a tow vehicle for it. You can use a small car, you can use anything. even if you have a vehicle that's capable of pulling a Sea-Doo, you need a trailer hitch, like all of those things, special wiring for the lights, you know, that type of thing. So by the time you add those things in, okay, well now the personal watercraft is becoming more expensive.
Yeah, and you also need this proper launch port, because these you can just walk whatever and put in the water and go. But if you have a Sea-Doo, you need to go to a proper place and park and put the trailer in the water. It's
That's
a lot
true.
of things.
Storage. So in Canada, most people don't use these things year round. It needs to be winterized, and there's a cost to doing that as well. And then you need to store it. So maybe you've got some place that's big enough, but a lot of people don't have a lot of space, so you might need to pay for storage of this unit. Where's ours? In the living room. We leave it in the living room. Thank you for allowing me to do that, by the way. But it's small enough that you can just kind of tuck it away. If you really wanted to, you could slide it under a bed very, very easily, and out of the way.
Yeah, Mark talks a little bit about that in this video right here. You can check it out.
That's true. And gas. So on a personal watercraft, if you really drive it, you can use 20 to 25 gallons an hour. In current gas prices, you're talking about $50 to $60 an hour. These things, you can go for an hour on maybe a couple of dollars. You know, it's almost nothing to be able to run these machines from a gas perspective. Sea-Doos tend to be what I call very thirsty, you know. And this thing's very economical in terms of the gas. I started off, I didn't really know. I bought 10 liters of gas and it lasted a long time. I actually thought it was going to go bad before I could use it all, and you know, we use it quite a bit. So the real comparison is not stand-up paddleboard to JETSURF, boat to JETSURF. If you really want to make a good comparison, the cost to value, then you got to look at the personal watercraft.
Yeah, that have this jet motor that I imagine that's the main difference between the others, and the thing that is more expensive.
Yeah, and I've ridden both. From an excitement perspective, obviously the JETSURF is there because it's super active. Like, you are paying attention the whole time. And on the Sea-Doo, very fun. Like, everybody has a good time on a Sea-Doo or a personal watercraft. You'll never see anybody frowning. Everybody's in a good mood. But anybody that's had one for any length of time knows that it can get a little bit boring after a while, because you're really just sitting there. Sometimes you go around in circles and around in circles and around in circles, annoying your fellow cottagers to no end. But with JETSURF, you can try this in lakes, rivers, the ocean. Mark takes his on the plane, and so if he goes to Mexico or to Europe, you can actually take these things on a plane. I would love to try this with the Sea-Doo.
Put it on the plane.
To show up at the airport with my Sea-Doo and see if I can somehow get that to Mexico. So there's a lot more you can do with it, and in terms of the price compatibility, that's kind of what you're looking at. Do you choose a personal watercraft? Do you choose a JETSURF? Really up to you, but from an excitement perspective, I think the JETSURF actually wins out a little bit here.
Which your favorite one?
I like the JETSURF, you know, because, well, Mark makes me feel bad about it. And Mark, I'm blaming this on you. He calls them sea couches, like meaning that you're actually driving a couch. And now I can only think of that
when you are in the Sea-Doo, you mean?
When you're on the Sea-Doo, you know, it's like, it's driving a small boat. You're very stable. They go super fast, but so does the JETSURF actually, in terms of speed. They are super fast, but it's a much more active, much more interesting ride on the JETSURF. And that's the cost. So add it all up.
Great. If you want to try JETSURF after watching all these videos, we are in the summer.
If you are in the Toronto area, follow Stuff Rob Does on Instagram.
And contact JETSURF Toronto and give our code
Stuff Rob Does and receive 20% off of demos
and lessons.
You're gonna love it as much as I did. We just finished bonus material. We had a great time reviewing some of the videos, but if you want to watch the original video, go here.
And if you want to watch the whole story and know everything about it, go here.
You know what would help?
Subscribe,
like, share,
and comment in the comment section below.
See you next week.